Have you ever wondered what it means to be truly free? Is it about having choices or breaking the rules society sets for us? In the dusty plains of Iran, one man challenged a basic human ritual. His name was Amu Haji. He became known worldwide for a startling decision. He chose not to bathe. Not for a week, not for a month, but for over 60 years. This wasn't a record he tried to break. It was simply his way of life. Far from running water and scented soaps, Amu Haji lived on his own terms. His story asks us, what do we really need to survive, and what do we need to be happy? His skin was the color of the earth, covered in a thick layer of dirt. A shell built over decades. Yet his eyes held a story of solitude and resilience. For most of us, skipping a shower is uncomfortable. For Amu Haji, it was normal. His life forces us to question our own habits and why we follow them. Amu Haji represented a deeply personal kind of diversity. A choice that set him apart from nearly everyone else. He became a modern legend, fascinating and repulsing people in equal measure. Was he a madman, a hermit, or a philosopher who found a secret to contentment? As we explore his life, we're not just looking at someone who didn't wash, we're exploring the nature of human existence. His story is a mirror, reflecting our anxieties about cleanliness and our need for social acceptance. What can we learn from a man who turned his back on one of civilization's oldest customs? Every story has a beginning, and for Amu Haji, it started with a deep emotional wound. As a young man, he faced a series of emotional setbacks, details lost to history, but powerful enough to change his life. These experiences led him to believe that washing would make him sick. For Amu, water became a source of illness, not purity. This belief wasn't casual, it defined his existence. In a society where cleanliness is a virtue, Amu's philosophy was radical, born from fear, not anger. By rejecting bathing, he drew a line between himself and the world. Dirt became his shield, a barrier against the sickness he believed cleanliness would bring. Over decades, this belief became his identity. He was the man who doesn't wash. He wore this label with quiet dignity, not shame. His story challenges our understanding of mental health and personal choice. Was his fear a delusion or a survival mechanism that helped him find peace? The answer lies somewhere in the complex landscape of the human mind. Amu Haji's retreat from the world was both a rebellion and a way to protect himself from further pain. In his world, he made the laws and found a strange kind of contentment. What did a day in Amu Haji's life look like? It was survival, stripped to the essentials. He didn't live in a house. His home was the earth itself. For years he slept in a hole in the ground, later moving to a simple brick shack built by villagers. He owned almost nothing. His wealth was the sky and the silence of the desert. His diet was as unconventional as his hygiene. He ate roadkill, especially rotten porcupine, cooked over an open fire. He drank water from a rusty oil can, careful never to let it touch his skin. His body adapted to this extreme lifestyle, a testament to human resilience. Amu Haji enjoyed smoking, but not tobacco. He packed his pipe with dried animal feces. Sometimes he smoked multiple cigarettes at once, offered by visitors. These habits, shocking to outsiders, were his daily rituals. His routine was a quiet rebellion against everything we consider normal. For Amu, freedom meant radical simplicity. In that simplicity, he found peace. The sun was Amu Haji's clock dictating the rhythm of his days. He woke with the first light, emerging from his shelter to survey his world of earth, rock, and sky. No schedules, no appointments, his only task was to exist, find food and water, and be present. He wandered the village and desert, sometimes resting in the sun, which he believed disinfected his skin. For grooming, he burned his hair and beard over a fire instead of cutting them. Evenings were spent preparing his simple meal, finding and cooking roadkill. After eating, he watched the stars, an astronomer in his own right. This daily rhythm, repeated for decades, created a life of solitude but not necessarily loneliness. He had routines, territory, and his own way of interacting with the world. While we fill our days with endless tasks, Amu Haji's life was about subtraction. He removed almost everything we consider essential. In that emptiness, he found a form of peace. His days were not about doing, but about being. He was the master of his own small universe. How does a community react to someone so different? In Dejgah, Iran, Amu Haji became a fixture, strange, but accepted. The villagers called him Amu Haji, an affectionate term meaning kind old uncle. While his appearance and smell put some off, there was respect and even fondness for him. He never bothered anyone, and the community quietly accepted him. They left food and water for him. Passing drivers offered cigarettes. Not all interactions were positive. Sometimes he was mocked or harassed. But the core community was protective. They saw the human beneath the layers of dirt. Their tolerance is a lesson in empathy and acceptance. Visitors, journalists, and travelers sought him out, trying to understand his world view. He was lucid, aware, and even witty. He understood his own fame. The villagers acted as his guardians, ensuring he wasn't exploited. They accepted him, grime and all, as one of their own. In a world quick to judge, their acceptance stands out. Amu Haji was both an outsider and a beloved part of the village. Amu Haji's life makes us question our own relationship with cleanliness. How often should we bathe? The answer varies dramatically across the globe. In hot, humid countries, daily showers are the norm. Elsewhere, bathing is less frequent. The daily shower is a modern invention, shaped by plumbing and marketing. In Japan, bathing is a spiritual ritual. In Europe, it's often less frequent and more practical. Our ideas about cleanliness are cultural, not universal. Hygiene is important, but the definition of clean enough is flexible. Amu Haji represents the extreme end of the spectrum, reminding us our habits are just one thread in a global tapestry. There's no single right way to live. From a scientific perspective, Amu Haji's survival is a marvel. Most doctors warn that not washing leads to infections and disease, yet Amu Haji remained in surprisingly good health. One theory, the hygiene hypothesis, exposure to germs may strengthen the immune system. His body was in constant contact with microbes, possibly building extraordinary resilience. The thick grime may have acted as a barrier against cuts and bites. The dry climate of southern Iran also helped. Less humidity means fewer bacteria and fungi. In 2014, doctors tested him and found no serious diseases or infections. He tested negative for parasites, HIV, and hepatitis. His body had reached a strange equilibrium with his environment. Amu Haji's case is an extreme example of human adaptability. For over half a century, Amu Haji believed washing would make him sick. He resisted all attempts to persuade him to bathe, but in his final months, villagers convinced him to wash. For the first time in 60 years, water and soap touched his skin. Shortly after, he fell ill. Was it the bath, or simply his time? We'll never know for sure. His health declined rapidly, and he passed away in October 2022 at age 94. The man known as the world's dirtiest man was gone. His story ended quietly, in the village where he lived his solitary life. The final chapter is a somber reminder of the convictions that guided him. The one act society deemed necessary may have precipitated his end. His life and death remain a paradox, forcing us to confront the complex relationship between belief, body, and world. What can we learn from Amu Haji? His life, so different from ours, holds lessons about happiness, freedom, and being human. Happiness isn't one size fits all. He found contentment in a life most would find miserable. He had no material wealth, no conventional home, yet he wasn't unhappy. His life critiques our consumer culture. He had almost nothing, and in that nothingness, found freedom. He was free from the stress of possessions and social pressures. His story invites us to ask, what do we truly need? It's also a lesson in tolerance. His village chose acceptance over judgment. They recognized his humanity beneath the dirt. Amu Haji challenges us to be less judgmental and more curious about those who live differently. There's more than one right way to live. He lived with conviction, following his own truth. His life is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and body. Amu Haji's story will continue to puzzle and inspire us for years to come.